Hey everyone, it's Shay Seeking, Grand Rising, and welcome back. We are still on this road. I'm just trying to nail a couple of things in and just get so that we can start getting a better understanding. Maybe you can add something to it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. We're gonna jump right back in, hopefully where we left off. So, okay, so we already did the beast, and then after his kind, and the cattle after their kind. So again, the beast system or the beast, okay? And the thing is, these things are feeding off of all of you, okay? From the looks of it, okay? Let's read this a little bit slower. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind. So, the earth had been seeded, penetrated, flooded, irrigated. Okay? The originals. Okay? Bread, all kind of things. After his kind. Okay? The cattle, okay, and the creeping thing. So the cattle I'm looking at as the laborers. The creeping thing, okay, let's look at the cattle here. Property of any kind, including money, blah, blah, blah. So these would be the merchants and all that kind of stuff, and maybe even more of the teachers and the ministers and stuff like that. Property stock, we already looked at that. Literally of the head. So again, of the head, let's look at this again. Let's look and see if we can look at another one. Priests, academics, rulers, administrators, warriors, artisans, tradesmen, farmers, merchants, manual laborers, and then the street cleaners. The lowest of the low. Okay. Let's see if we can get one that goes into a little bit more depth. The priestly, academic class, the rulers, okay, they all pretty much are saying the same. There was one that had lots and lots of different statuses. Food. Huh. Okay. There's you can look on your own. Okay. So we don't get too sidetracked. Okay. So chattel, okay, property goods again. So wealth, possessions, you were possessions. You were the children of these people. I mean, the ancestors, okay? Property, Old North French. And again, how do we know this is not the French system that was set up here in America when we're using these terms? Okay, application to slaves is from the 1640 or the 6th day. And that's where we're at, basically. We're in the 6th day reading from the Bible. And you can tell me what you want, but again, I'm to the point where can't nobody really tell me nothing. If I keep going down this road, you can share something with me and it might alter my thing. But if you are indoctrinated by one of these systems, don't tell me that. That's what I mean. I'm never going to stop learning. I'm never going to stop seeking. And I'm never going to just put things in cement because, again, I have not obtained all the information, nor will I ever. But if you are indoctrinated and you're trying to reel me back into the mainstream anything, it will not happen ever again. That's what. I will listen to the ones that are enlightened, the ones that have been placed on this earth to do something, to move things, to create a new one for us, okay? And to shed light on what they have been doing. And if you don't know who they is, then I can't help you. So I'm not going to keep sending myself backwards to try, if somebody's not even really awakened to any of this stuff, to try to explain anything to you. It's no offense. It's just I have to keep moving, okay? So property, profit, cattle, application to slaves in the 6th day or the 1600s. Okay. What is this? To money, property, wealth, cattle, flock, movable property. Again, that would be people. Livestock. Livestock was measured with wealth in the ancient world, like any other culture was. Okay. Let's see. Capital, a person's wealth. Stock, property. We supposed to be broke. This nation. This place. Wealth employed in carrying, okay, was made its first appearance in, okay, loans, 13th century, okay, let's see, mill, okay. So, and then this is one of my favorite ones, the creeping things, because it really, let's see. I thought it was a different word I could bring it up with. Let's see. No. There's a different way to put it. Creeping entity. Okay. No. Let's see, creep. Okay, so let's see this. The verb, I guess, to move the body near or along the ground as a reptile or an insect does. This would be whatever you want to make of it after what we just talked about. Perhaps root, crooked, from 13th century, move secretly or to evade detection. This is why I think they first sent people that look like you. Also, move slowly, feeble, or timorously, in reference to moving things, soil. We know what soil means now. People. Original peoples. Indigenous people. Maybe even native people. 1818, a creeping motion, an act of creeping. This is how they do things. Slowly but surely. Meaning, so slow that they already did what they telling you they about to do, and you don't even know that they done did it. Okay, coal mines, meaning despicable person. To sneak, creep. Okay, recorded in the 1600s. Again, are we in the 6th day? Because we are in the Bible. And the word was also used for certain classes. Here we go with classes or caste again of thieves. Okay, who robs customers in brothels and creeps in a feeling of dread and revulsion. That's how you're going to feel when you start realizing what these people been doing. Unconscious expansion of troops. This is what was going on. I'm trying to tell you. In foreign operations. That's what we over here talking about, oh yeah, do that. When it goes to Iraq, oh, they did this, they're gonna get us, oh, how, like we ain't been over there doing way more than they've ever done over here. And a lot of us don't even think that they did what they did, say that they did. Okay. On that day that just passed not too long ago, 9/11 maybe. So, again, but this is an unconscious expansion of troops, okay? This is what all the forts that we're talking about in the Bible and all the forts that they were talking about building and stuff when we were talking about in his story. This is him telling you exactly what he did without telling you, but placing religion there in order to tell you in a different way so that your mind is all fucked up and you can't see what's right in front of your face. Okay? Okay. Nothing new under the sun. Okay? And the beast of the earth after his kind. So, the beast of the earth, okay, after his kind too, and it was so. Okay? So the cattle and the beast. So that's everybody that's still over the untouchables. Okay? Okay, and it was good. And God said, let us make man in our own image and likeness. Okay? They have dominion over the fish, the sea, the fowl, the cattle, and all over the earth. Okay? And over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Okay, so everything that's also just, creeping around. And maybe that is also talking about, because when we looked up that one term about the cast, and it said something about the UK or whatever, but then there were other nations here that were here prior to, but then they were pushed out because the United States Incorporated took over, bought out, or moved out throughout their land. Because remember, the people had to wait east of the the Nile or whatever river it was, you see, until they can move over into the plains where the natives are today. Over into the promised lands. Sorry. Okay. Winning against warriors. Who are those warriors? Okay, we getting sidetracked, y'all. Let's keep going. Okay. And the creeping thing upon the earth. Okay. And God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. Created he them. Again, I think we already read that part. And God blessed them. And that can also, like I said, sound like something else. Be fruitful and multiply. So God made man in his own image. Image of God created them, both male and female. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Again, to replenish something is to what? I'm going to do this book probably 97 times, and just so we can just get this really in our heads. Extended presence of a stem or a prime root, probably, to fill up. If this whole landmass was populated with darker view people, what the hell is going on now? And that's why I keep saying wake up or wither away. Full, to fill. Plea, to fill. Okay? Multitude, people. Okay? Mucho. Mostly. What they say, you 10 or 13% of the population? Many people, multitude, great number, more. See, and then when they got their fill, then they can go ahead and exercise more of their things, make up propaganda and newspaper reports and false claims against the people to send groups of these people that will be afraid now. Now they done forgot where the hell they came from, some of them, because some of them were just brought right on over here in the 1800s. Loads, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. Those are the only people documented as coming over the ocean in those numbers, when they would have been equipped at that time then to actually have the boats and the whales, the great whales and everything to be able to do so, okay? And again, here we go right here, full, abundant, old Slavic. When the whole thing with the foundlings and the orphan trains, when they were just bringing these random ass kids from around the world and dropping them off at the train station, and people could just take them and turn them into their children. And then we wonder why sometimes, even if we're talking about, if some people are talking about androgynous, the first ladies of the past being maybe androgynous beings, then now we can see why some of these people had to have children, and other reasons, of course, that we've read already, to bear children for them, because she could not. And they like to say, oh, she was barren, or something happened and she lost the ovary and she couldn't do this anymore. But when really they just weren't, just like, oh, now all these celebrities, these celebrities are talking about, oh, I just wanted to get a surrogate. Oh, I had 3 kids, but now I want a surrogate. Bitch, you had a surrogate every time. Some of these missing children, people better recognize. You don't know how deep and how ugly it is, but you can still fund Hollywood and be mad at your neighbors because they look different than you, or because you feel like they feel some way about you, because we all been fooled. You can keep doing that if you want. I'm not saying you got to hold hands and sing kumbaya. I'm not saying you have to let them in on your movement. What I'm saying is you just need to recognize the real. And then once you can do that, then you just got to let your feelings. You just have to really let them go. Old Church or Slavic. Okay, to fill, to make full, to replenish, satisfy, to make God happy. So what are you really worshiping? If God said to fill it up, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and we know that the earth is talking about you Negroes and you darker colored people and you Aborigines around the world, then who the hell is you worshiping? I'm just keeping it real. And if you, other people that came and you're natives, or you are indigenous and you've sprung from the earth, who is the people that you want to look down at when you come over here, or when you get something, you want to look down at them, and you done forgot. You done forgot. You done forgot. And I'm going to remind you. And of course, I'm not talking about every individual person. I'm talking about what we've been given the perception of. Okay? I know everybody doesn't feel that way. But again, to fill, to make full. Now we are in areas where we are being still segregated, in a sense, in ghettos and different areas, and trying to fit in with their social construct or their way of living, when we need to just pull out of it and just say we don't need that shit and just go back to the mindful, resourceful, creative people that we were at one point in time, in my eyes. But that won't happen. Half of y'all are going to be mad and turn this shit off because I just talked about celebrities maybe being this way. And because I'm talking about God in this way. But if God was something else that was doing harm to you, and if you couldn't see that, well, you wouldn't want nobody to tell you? Well, I'm the one. So, God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he made them both male and female. Okay? Yeah, to subdue it. Okay, so be fruitful. We looked at that. Multiply and replenish the earth. We know who the earth is. And subdue it. Have they done it? Are you stagnant? Have you have any growth? Are you still at the bottom of the totem pole or the caste system? And have dominion over the fish and of the sea and the fowl of the air and everything else that moveth on it. So now these people that are foreigners, he wants them to have dominion. Lordship. Landlord, lordship, sovereign, or supreme authority, Supreme Court, sovereign citizens, dominion, rule, power, principalities and rulers, and directly from Latin domini, whatever, we'll leave that one, corresponding to property, ownership, Lord, master, Massa, Lord God. Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, Lord. From Damos, House. Is it the White House? House of Representatives? What? Household? See? And now here we go back to that leader of the household. That makes you this makes this land the wife of these people that came over here and married it or took it. And you are in the household, so you are a child of these people and they own you and your children when you get a birth certificate and a marriage license. In law, power of control, right of uncontrolled possession, so they can take whatever. Even that they're trying to pass those things now. In martial law, they have the right to take what they need from you and everything. So I'm just saying, use, disposal, territory of people subject to specific government or control or government, because this is the same thing. The more I'm keep on reading, the more it just doesn't make any sense to even keep looking. I may not know all the answers, but we're going in the right direction. British sovereign colonies often were called dominuses, hence the Dominion of Canada. Again, the form, I've been looking at some shit and it's been leading me all the way on up there into Canada because we don't really talk about Canada that much. It's kind of like a mystery. Formal title after 1867. Holiday and celebration of the Union. A union, a marriage is just a union. The popular name of the U.S. state of Virginia. There's your virgin, and there's your married land. Okay. First recorded in the seventh day or 1778. Den, household. House lord, house, master. Domain, territory. Lordship, rule, okay? Judges, nobles, nobility, ships, and I'll sell you into whatever with ships, and no one shall buy you, and you shouldn't see it anymore. We still here though. So, creeping thing on the earth, okay? Let's see. To replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea that moveth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb. Let's go ahead and look up subdue because I don't think we did. To conquer, to reduce, to subjugation. But this meant deceive, seduce, draw away. There go your take away. There's your original. Lead away, carry off, withdraw. There's your the reason why they call you the Aborigine. Subdued, subjugated. Again, now you're subjugated, and that's in the 6th day. Calm down, reduce intensity, water down, irrigate, penetrate, annihilate. Get my drift? To vanquish, subdue. This is a daunt. To subdue all these things right here, restrain, be afraid of, because that they still are. But they're afraid of you not because of who you are. I mean, what you look like is who you are. And what powers you have that you don't exercise that they've been keeping from you because they've been feeding you and your children subliminal messages and messing with your head from the day you entered this world. And having control of you from what they tell you what you can do and what you can't do, and that you can't leave the hospital without this and your birth certificate and all this stuff. It's all game. It's all part of their plan, and all we have to do is recognize game in order to move on. That's why all this fun, disgusting, sexual things have been perpetrated for all this time, because they want to keep you in a sense of that. Okay, sense of to intimidate, subdue of courage, yeah. Remove the Indian and Keep the man, subjugate. Okay, let's see. Action from the past. To subdue, literally bring under a yoke. Put a yoke of iron on your neck. Back formation, so to take you see what I'm saying? Literally bring under a yoke. Tame, the savage, engine, the beast. To tame an animal. Know when to till the ground. You see what I'm saying? Restrain in behavior. You can't wear your hair where? Physically subdue. They'll put you in jail in a state of subjection. Animals, domesticated, reclaimed from the wilderness. They took you out of there. Came and took you all out of there in the 60s. Had you riding, had our grandparents going all over the country, farming and everything, and took them out of the South and out of the rich soil and planted them in the cities. Meek, gentle, natured, compliant, homely, domestic, docile. To constrain, to force, to break a horse. Any of y'all ever watch that Spirit Horse movie? To tame, okay, oppressive, okay, unreasonable or unjustly burdensome, okay, so, and that's the nature of these people for you, okay, and this is why they keep it that way, and then they teach everybody else to look at it like you don't deserve to, subconsciously, because some of these people think that there's nothing wrong still. They'll fight for the rights of dogs and plants and the air and everything else instead of looking at what's going on. And that's why this shit is about to come down, honey. This house of cards is coming down. Press against, press together, press down, crush, put down, subdue, relentlessly, sense of incline to oppress, tyrannical, the heavy, overwhelming. Woe of grief. 7th day. Okay, follow the air creep on the earth wherein there is life. I have given every green herb for meat, and it is so. And God saw everything, and he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the 6th day. Again, he saw that it was good. So, thus the heavens and the earth were filled, and all the host of them. And then, on the 7th day, God ended his work. So he already done all the shit he needed to do to get you subdued and get you ready in the 6th day. And then in the 7th day, which is the 1700s, maybe 1776, which you celebrate and had them barbecues and wear their red, white, and blue. That's when they were freed to do what they pleased or trusted in some kind of way, however they did it from some of the restraints of the crown. Not you. They could rest because they already got you to the point where there's nothing you can do. And we've been sitting there ever since. So, we'll put that Bible away. And we already seen that. We did those. Let's see. I damn forgot what we was even reading in the beginning. See y'all? Where it goes? I really did. I think it might have been somewhere up in here. Oh yeah, I was going to read to you from the concordance, and we never even got to it. But I just have to go where my spirit guides me when I'm speaking with you guys. But I did want to share with you guys, I think this was the first thing that I was looking at. I'm kind of upset because the whole book, everything is straight. There's some things where it seems like they try to fade it out or whatever. And this is that concordance I was telling you guys that was written in the 1700s. But right here, when we want to talk about the earth, excuse me, I'm so sorry. When we want to talk about the earth, this is all warped up and messed up. And I just don't know why. So weird. because I have the newer version, which was from 1930 in my hands. But this is the one from 18 something. And they start off differently when it comes to the earth. It says, is taken, earth is taken. Okay? So, I mean, but really, I like all different versions and it sounds about right. But I'll just read you what it says here a little bit, and then I'll read you what it says here in the newer version, was the one that I got my hands on. So it says, earth is taken. We've been talking a lot about earth. For that gross and I can't remember I can't read that. The centurial, the something real elements. The something elements, okay? Which restrains and nourishes us, okay? Mm-hmm. Who is that? Is that you? Could it be us? There's a lot of us that haven't even looked into this, but we know there's something in our soul, in our body, our minds, our spirit that is telling us that they are feeding off of our energy, and they need to harvest the energy. And when they can't do that anymore, is it because we're not allowing them to? Those of us that are waking up in droves are not allowing us to control our minds in that way anymore. And are there things that are going on that we don't know about? That are maybe going on and they're trying to stop it from going on with some of their toys that they play with? Or do they want us to think something and we're in fear instead of really getting into a huddle and seeing how we can redirect the energy? So Genesis 1 and 10, God called the dry land earth. The dry land earth. That would be the people that did not want to mix, amalgamate, or be irrigated or seeded or anything. In this sense, it is taken in those passages. What passages? Okay. Where the earth is said to yield fruit, to be barren, watered. Get the. This is what I'm talking about. To be watered. Whose flood is it? Are we talking about Noah's flood? It was said to be happening around the 1600s, I believe. And that's what you have your antediluvian peoples. Let's see. Because I have a picture of a Nephilim girl. And she just looks like an American Indian, so-called black woman with very thick, beautiful long hair and very nice brown skin. And she's dressed very nice. And let's just see. And I'm thinking a Nephilim. Damn, I thought this one we waiting to come out of a different planet. Why are they calling this girl a Nephilim? Where were we going? Where were we going, y'all? See, I be running my mouth too much. Let's see. I'll get back to it. Barren water. Oh, there we go. The antediluvian time period referred in the Bible between the fall of humans. Who is that? And the Genesis flood. Water. What are we talking about here? Narrative in the Bible cosmology. The narrative takes up 1 to 2 chapters 1 through 6 of the book of Genesis. What are we talking about? Let me go back and see something real quick. No, there was another word I wanted to look up there. The term found its way into the geology and science until the late Victorian era. Okay, let me see something real quick. Planter class. I wanted to just make note of that. It was something I wanted to look into. Okay, now let's go back. Of or beginning at the time of the biblical flood, gigantic bones of antediluvian animals or people, because we can use those transferably. What is this? Prehistoric, primeval, primordial, primal, earliest, ancient, aboriginal, early. Y'all about to get into some shit here. They maintain, okay, sex role stereotype, out of date, out, old fashioned. Let's see, the time before the flood. I'm looking for this other way of looking at it. I'm looking for another way because I had it on here before, and all I had to do was put antediluvian, and they gave it to me. Let's see if we can do it over here. I think this was before the war, antebellum, or around. Oh. Okay. Yeah, before the war. Okay, in U.S. Oh, which war? Usually in reference to the American Civil War. Oh, okay. Attests to that specific in 1862. Log, a felled tree. A felled tree or a fallen tree. Unshaped large piece of tree. Could that be a family tree that was not, to lie, hence, okay. Lump, okay. Okay. So let's look at antediluvian. Oh, I know I'm spelling it wrong. Tediluvian. Y'all, I can go all day if I ain't really had my family. I don't mean like that. But if I wasn't so, I had to feel like I had to be involved in everything in my house. So let's see. Before Noah's flood, 1640s. Again, antebellum, and then antediluvian. I think there's the Antilles. We'll look at that one too. Maybe before Noah's flood in 1640s. Are we in the sixth day? Again, what are we talking about? The 1640s, this term being used. I'm guessing that's what that means. I could be totally wrong. If I'm just go ahead and let me know in the bottom, and I can go ahead and look at this the correct way. But again, when you follow in the nature of your spirit, it just really leads you, and it may not be the proper way, but it's really going to still give you the answers. So before Noah's flood, the front, the forehead. Oh, four heads. The four heads in front of you. Okay, so like those people were supposed to be in front, or they placed themselves in front, or even if you ant or pre, you know what I'm saying, like pre-ant. Okay, so so antediluvian, before Noah's flood, 1640s, before. Okay, so this is what we had before the sixth day, probably, and before the flood of the nations. Okay, again, ant, front, forehead, and then that just reminded me of it being split into four heads. The four with the O-U-R, with derivatives meaning in front of or before. Diluvian, a flood, hence, humorously, or the whatever, very antiquated in 1726, or are we in the seventh day? Person who lived before the flood. Okay, So again, person who lived before the flood. Okay, front, forehead, and front, before, end. Okay, so the beginning and the end, or the alpha and omega. Okay. Upper shoe boot. Over, against, in front of, against, onto, against, along, like this creeping snake thing. Okay. End, border, boundary. Okay. So let's look up Antilles. I don't really know how that one is. Hopefully it was. Oh, okay. Antilles is the archipelago border by the seesaw. By the seesaw. Look at this. I've been reading all day, y'all. By the sea, south of Mexico, and see, I think this is where that crest of life, or the beginning, or something. I don't know. I just think so. Okay. Let's see if I can take it back over here and see if we can get something. Type of American lizard. Okay, so again, okay, and then we go to Quetzalcoatl, we go to South America, we go down to all of this other stuff about the serpent people. Okay, and then we go to even when California was on the map prior to the 1600s, I think. It looked like it was an island sitting off the coast of what's California now. And it says something about the serpent people there. I did that in one of my first videos before, but again, we're talking about still the creeping thing, okay? Okay. And then I just seen somebody do a video saying they had some old maps that showed the islands totally different than what they are today. And it looks like they were a little bit more off to the right of Florida, where that little handle is on Florida. And that some of these islands, you know, because I think they were looking into the whole earthquakes and things that happen, in the hurricanes that have been happening over there. And then they were saying something about it not even being, these islands over here were not, or maybe even the West Indies maybe, were not where they were in some of the older maps. So it's kind of, you know, I think we're going to start seeing some stuff and hearing some stuff that we, you know, okay. So let's see. Okay, in this sense, it is taken in the passages. Okay, earth yielding fruit, to be barren, watered. Okay, for all the rude matter which was created in the beginning. Okay, God created the heaven and the earth, and that is the matter of all sensible things, or sensible beings. So the ones that have sense. What kind of sense? Okay, and or is it the ones that are senseless, like the beast, you know, that is roaming around? Okay, now it says by the earth is meant the terra. Okay, thinking terra nova, terra. Okay, terra guris globe. Okay, and remember we said the globe can also mean, it could be talking about inhabitants or people, or just in that sense. Okay, the earth and all that it contains, man, animals, plants, metals, waters, fish. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. The earth is often taken from those who inhabit it. So okay, so who are the inhabitants? And then what does it mean to inhabit something? I thought we did this one earlier. To dwell, yeah, okay. So to dwell in, or live, or reside, or preside, okay. Because remember, the God in Genesis 1 wanted a man to preside over the earth. Okay. And if you look up preside, you're going to get president, period. So that's why I call it the government. Okay. So formally, also inhabiting, uninhabitable. Okay. So populate. Okay. Populate. Okay. So that's what God is telling them to do. So again, all these things that they did, God told them to do. So why are we mad? Who are you going to be mad at? You got to ask your question. You need to be mad at yourself because you got to ask yourself a question in a minute. Habit, meaning to dress it and to keep it, to live, to dwell, to stay, remain, to have, to hold. Your bride, mother. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I'm gonna calm down because I have to keep this professional. I have to keep it professional, somewhat, but all over the place. To have and to hold, to possess, to give and receive. The bride. Okay. People ask, when they get in their spirits, a lot of us are just, people that just want the truth. We want knowledge. We want, when everybody else asks for cars and jobs to work for a system that is killing you. And that's why I think that this is the wrong, I'm not going to say that because people can do whatever they want to do. And I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to whatever, but I'm just saying it's the wrong energy. It's the wrong entity in my eyes for me. Okay? And if this is the case, why make everything wrong when you're the all-knowing, perfect God that don't make no mistakes and we can't never see? But then you make this book with all the stuff that you did and then all the mistakes and that you had to change them over and over again and stuff. It just don't make no kind of sense to me. If you just take religion and your feelings out, it just don't make no sense. And a lot of people have to have something to grasp onto like that. And that's why it's a very scary thing when you see what this has done to people to just say, hey, oh, well, it's okay for God to have killed all these women and children. And then you wonder why nobody's speaking up that the government does these things that they do to the original people. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Look at this. We skip down a little bit. A man of the earth. Okay. Noah was a man of the earth. A husbandman. So this is somebody that was married in. So this is a foreigner. Or one who tilled the ground. Again, when we look at what tilled means, let's look at it because we didn't do it today. Capable of being tilled, cultivated. Cultivated? Like you do plants and things sometimes. People. To till, alternative from, seems to be native formation from cultivate. Be labor. What did we just say about the caste system? The laborers. Earlier, tilled, cultivated, acre, tilled, field, open land, field. Again, open land. So, again, there's dry land, the one that didn't want nothing to do with none of this. And then you have your open land, the one that chose to go in with certain people. Maybe the dry land went into slavery and the open land went into, not concentration camps, but reservations. Simple as that. And they took $5 Indians and used them as their chiefs. And now look what you have today. And then the people that didn't want to do that, where did they go? Cursed above all the animals or the beasts that have, okay? cast out, struck down to the ground. I'm just saying. And then they came back around and fooled you and tempted you and then fooled you and then came up with their whole amalgamation and then their all amalgamation laws because they know once you tell you somebody you can't do nothing, then they want to do it even more. And, it's just all kind of mind games that goes on. Cultivate land, early 1300s. And again, are we in the third day? Okay. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Genesis 1 and 12. Wait, the first day. So here we go, the first day. On the firmament. Then there's the formation that we were just talking about. The midst of water, divide the waters from the waters, okay? So the waters, meaning the foreigners. So there were some that went up into the heavens or into the government in their whole structure. And there's some that came down below as the laborers, okay? And the merchants and all those people, okay? And divide the waters under the firmament, again, under their establishment, and the ones over, okay? So the ones that were also starving and the foreigners and the immigrants that came from different lands and stuff. And God called the firmament heaven. That is just that whole thing. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, let the waters under the, hold on, to till, cultivate, rise, breed. I told y'all what we're talking about. You can fight it all day, or you can just go ahead and be realistic and open up your eyes because it's time. We out of time. It's been done. It's over with. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth. And gathered together the waters and called them seas. Gather together the foreigners and call them seas. And then the earth is going to be the sovereign or aboriginal citizens or peoples. Okay, that they trick you into calling yourself a citizen when you sign up for your driver's license and other things, and so now you really are enslaved again with ships, but it's just your penmanship, your citizenship, your all these other ships. Okay, and then it says the weather, get the waters together and call them seas, and that has something to do with your maritime or law. Okay, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit yielding the seed after his kind, and the whose seed is after itself upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. Again, this is cultivating, tilling, breeding. This is what we're talking about. Plowing. That's a lot of that went on. Work at, get by labor. Again, a lot of us were tricked into slavery. It wasn't the way that you think it was. Originally to strive after, aim at, aspire to, be, or to replace, or replenish, or fill. Okay, to till, okay, fix, point, goal. So after he didn't finish doing all that, he was able to rest. And then you got your government set up, and now what can you do? Until good, useful, suitable for what? For seeding, okay? To get, to cultivate, to obtain, again, to breed, to raise, cultivate, cause, to strive, till, prep, to prepare. Till, prep. Till, covenant. With who? God, limit, end, goal. Okay? Scope, death, literally end life, because now you're dead by law, because everybody else is sitting in your status. Cultivate, plow. We already did these. Okay? Slavic work, cultivate. Okay? Till, cash box. Okay, that's something else. That's talking about later on. Okay? So we'll just look at a couple of these other alternative views, and those are the same. So let's see. So that's exactly what was going on in the third day. In set, okay, earth in the moral sense of it is set in opposition to heaven. Okay, so now it's set down, and the people are down, and the heaven is up. Things earthly and carnal to things heavenly and spiritual. And okay, so in this way, we can also think about in the head, a spherical shape. Okay, like we were reading earlier. Let's see. He that is of the earth is earthly, indigenous. Okay, because they just somebody that's your offspring that's sprung from the earth. They just forgot. They don't honor their mother and father because they don't know. They act like they can't remember or they don't know who it is. They've been misled as well. So, and when you're talking about it, the natives can't stand it because they're the ones that decided to go in with the government to take your place. Speaketh of the earth, he that cometh from heaven is above all. Again, that is what, let's see, if ye then be risen with Christ. What does that mean? Seek those things which are above, and set not your affections on things on earth. So, in my eyes, right off the bat, just in 1 second, I'm just going to say, and I'm going to look deeper into this. If ye then be risen with Christ, that's the Christos or the Christ consciousness, seek those things which are above, okay? Maybe even look at what they're doing or look into your mind. Go within your head. That's who you're talking to when you're praying. That's who you're talking to when you're praying. Otherwise, if I was just somebody going out talking to somebody in the air, in the street, they're going to lock me up. So who you talking to? And set not your affection on things on the earth. And don't let these people trick you. These worldly things, this consumerism, these material things, these idols outside of yourself, these celebrities, all this stuff. You gotta be ready to let it go. This is not what we came here for. This is not what, you know what I'm saying? It's just a waste of time at this point. And I think this is the terrestrial man. What we were trying to read up there, it says it again, is set in opposition to the heavens. The first man of the earth, earthy, and the second man is the Lord from heaven, Adam. The first public person and the head of the oldest covenant was formed of the earth. He was moral and corruptible, but Christ, the second public person and head of the new covenant, is of a heavenly descent. Okay? Again, where's heaven? And it's the house of God. It kind of reminds me of the movie that Eddie Murphy played in when that little man was in his head. Kind of funny. And his divine, and has a divine, that's kind of like what the Pope said, as well as a human nature. Oh, what the hell? If you got human nature, what is it? What are we dealing with? What kind of being or entity are we dealing with? In like manner, the earthly house is set upon, okay, and heavenly. Okay, so we can just keep on looking through this. This is just a concordance. It's just a really old one. Okay, and the C, or no, the E, which is the earth, was without form and void. This means you was not penetrated yet. You were, everybody looked like you, basically. From nature were taken to pieces by death. There is a state of glory provided by God for the separate of the soul and passed on to. Okay, well, let's just go back. Okay, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass. So he wanted you to yield his seed or that seed of those foreigners. Okay, and the earth brought forth the grass, herb, yielding seed. Again, that's what they did. Be fruitful, replenish, and subdue it. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the ark was lifted above the whatever, the second month, while remaineth seed time, shall not cease. It shouldn't stop. They're going to increase. And it won't stop until now you're looking up like, what the hell? This is the evilest plan I've ever read in my life. Divide. In his days was the earth divided. Okay? So, at that time, the earth was divided. So, this would be portions of the earth, meaning you original peoples. Or we might say land or dry land if we were talking about people that didn't get penetrated. But the earth was all different array, like they said in Genesis at this point. So it was still divided. Maybe they were keeping natives on the reservation, and they were keeping you in the South enslaved, and they were keeping, you see what I'm saying, the Irish over here and these people over there, and then the whole thing just kind of got mixed up at that point. Okay, so we'll just stop there. I have to do something, and I will be back with more later on. I did want, okay, I did want to read one thing to you guys, and we didn't even get there, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and come back. Again, thanks for watching, and you guys have a glorious day.